Are you stuck in a never-ending routine? Every day you wake up early for a job that doesn't inspire you, surrounded by people you didn't choose, earning less than you'd like. The reality is that you continue in this routine because you need to. Your job is your only source of income that sustains your life. And if you're honest with yourself, you know that your financial situation is far from ideal. Your expenses seem to grow uncontrollably while your salary barely covers your essential costs. You find yourself unable to buy the things you truly desire, the dream vacation, the car you've always wanted, financial peace of mind. All of it feels increasingly distant. Worse yet, your debts may be a constant weight on your shoulders. A negative balance on your credit card, a student loan that keeps accumulating interest, bills that never seem to decrease. You were led to believe that if you studied hard, worked diligently, and followed the rules of the game, success would come your way. They told you that upon completing your education, a good job would be waiting for you, bringing happiness, stability, and personal fulfillment. But the reality has been quite different, hasn't it? You earned your diploma, faced immense challenges to get here, yet you've never managed to work in what you truly wanted. Your dreams of financial independence feel increasingly unattainable. Meanwhile, you watch in disbelief as social media showcases young people flaunting luxury cars, exotic vacations, and millionaire bank accounts. Some have become rich, others billionaires. But how? What's their secret? What did they do to achieve so much in such a short time? Doubt mingles with frustration. Perhaps you've thought they were just lucky or born into wealthy families. Or maybe they got involved in something illegal to reach their goals. What feels unfair is that no matter how hard you work, your reality doesn't change. Your dreams remain just that, dreams. And life feels like a game where you always lose. But what if I told you there's a way out? What if there's a real method to achieve true wealth? What if the problem isn't your ability, but rather the way you've learned to view money? In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal something that no one has ever taught you. I'll show you what differentiates financially successful people from the rest of the population. But I warn you, this path isn't for everyone. It requires a profound shift in how you think about money, success, and work. Many of the beliefs that society has instilled in you will need to be discarded. Many people aren't prepared for this transformation and will give up before even grasping everything. But if you stay with me until the end, it's because you're truly committed to changing your life. At the end of this journey lies something few achieve: financial freedom. Imagine no longer worrying about bills, having the option to choose how and where to live, and having time to enjoy what really matters. This is the destination for those who dedicate themselves to learning and applying the true knowledge of wealth. After all, what does money mean to you? Is it something you earn, inherit, or work hard to obtain? Do you believe it's the root of all evil? Or that it's something you'll never have in abundance? The way you think about money has been shaped by your upbringing, your environment, and everything you've learned since childhood. If you grew up in a family facing financial difficulties, you were likely taught that money is scarce, hard to earn, and that only a select few can accumulate great fortunes. You were conditioned to accept a reality where money equals constant sacrifice. And your school, of course, never taught you how money truly works. This has led you to develop erroneous beliefs that, without realizing it, are preventing you from thriving. From an early age, we've been exposed to movies and stories where the rich are portrayed as corrupt, dishonest, or exploitative. But is that really true? Or does this narrative hide knowledge that they don't want you to discover? A recent study published by one of the most respected newspapers in the United States revealed a surprising fact. Among the wealthiest people in the world, those with a net worth exceeding $30 million, 68% built their fortunes from scratch. In other words, they didn't inherit wealth, they created it. This dismantles the myth that only the privileged can accumulate money. Let's talk about some of the richest people in the world. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, started with nothing and built a financial empire. Howard Schultz, former CEO of Starbucks, came from an extremely poor family and turned a simple coffee shop into one of the largest chains on the planet. Oprah Winfrey, now one of the most powerful women in entertainment, was born into absolute poverty. Jeff Bezos, who once held the title of the richest man in the world, didn't come from a wealthy family. On the contrary, he grew up in a middle-class household and faced numerous financial challenges throughout his life. And Elon Musk, the current richest man on the planet, he also had financial struggles, having slept on borrowed sofas while building his first companies. What do these individuals know that most people don't? The great mistake most people make is believing that money is just the salary they receive at the end of the month. Society has taught us that the path to financial success lies in obtaining a good job and eventually getting a raise. But this formula simply doesn't work for those who want to get rich quickly. The reason is simple. We all possess an extremely valuable resource that once used can never be recovered. That resource is time. In the traditional work model, your salary is directly tied to the hours you dedicate to your job, but there's a limit to how many hours you can work. This means that if your only source of income relies on your time, there's a ceiling on how much you can earn. In other words, no matter how hard you try, you will never truly become wealthy following this path. True wealth doesn't come from continuous effort within a system that limits your possibilities. It comes from understanding how money works and applying strategies that allow you to multiply it. In the next steps, I will show you how to completely change your relationship with money and how to start your journey toward true financial freedom. You may be trapped in a job that doesn't motivate you, surrounded by people you didn't choose, and earning far less than you'd like. The routine repeats day after day, and even though you know this job doesn't make you happy, you remain in it. And why? Because this is your only source of income. After all, how would you pay the bills without it? The money that comes in barely covers your essential costs. You dream of so many things, yet you never seem to be able to buy what you truly desire. Saving feels impossible, debt piles up, and the financial pressure only increases. Perhaps you're drowning in credit card debt, or you have a massive student loan because one day someone told you that a degree would guarantee a good job and a prosperous life. You fought hard, studied, graduated, and now the career of your dreams never materialized, and the idea of getting rich feels like a distant delusion. Meanwhile, you scroll through your phone and see young people flaunting luxury cars, idyllic vacations, and million-dollar bank accounts. How is that possible? What's their secret? Why do some people achieve financial success so quickly while others spend their whole lives stuck in place? Looking at these stories, you might feel frustration, indignation, and even anger. Some say these people were lucky. Others believe they were born into wealthy families. There are still those who claim that to reach this level of wealth, one must act dishonestly. But while these assumptions pile up, your dreams remain just that, dreams. That dream house, the car you desire, the freedom to travel the world, all of it seems increasingly out of reach. It feels like life is a rigged game where you always lose. But what if I told you that this perception is completely wrong? What if there were a real and proven path to building wealth and achieving financial freedom? Money follows rules, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Perhaps it sounds impossible to you right now, but the truth is, there's a side of the coin that you were never taught about. However, I need to be honest from the start. This journey won't be easy. You will need to unlearn many of the beliefs you were taught since childhood, beliefs that continue to keep you trapped in this limiting reality. Most people aren't willing to take this path. Many give up even before trying. But if you've made it this far and truly want to transform your life, stay with me. At the end of this journey, something is waiting for you. A wealth so great that at this moment it seems unattainable. But it is possible. And along with it comes the freedom of never worrying about money again. So, are you ready? If so, let's not waste any more time. Now think for a moment. What is your true relationship with money? Do you see it as something earned only through hard work? Do you believe it is a privilege reserved for those born into wealthy families? Do you feel like you have to chase it all the time? Every thought you've ever had about money has been shaped by your upbringing, the environment you grew up in, and the experiences you've lived. If you were raised in a home where money was always scarce, it's likely you learned to see it as something difficult to attain, and worse, as a resource that only a privileged few can accumulate. And what did school teach you about this? Nothing. Not a single class showed you how money really works. No teacher explained how to build and multiply it. As a result, you probably carry wrong beliefs about wealth. Beliefs that hinder your progress and need to be dismantled. Popular culture reinforces these misguided beliefs all the time. How many movies and series have portrayed wealthy individuals as corrupt, greedy villains? The idea that wealth is associated with a lack of ethics has been propagated for decades. But the reality is very different. A recent study from one of the largest newspapers in the United States revealed an astonishing fact. Among millionaires with a net worth over $30 million, 68% built their wealth from scratch, without inheritances or birth privileges. Other research backs up this conclusion. Warren Buffett, one of the world's greatest investors, started from nothing. Howard Schultz, former CEO of Starbucks, came from an extremely poor family and is now a billionaire. Oprah Winfrey, one of the richest and most influential women on the planet, was born into extreme poverty. Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, did not come from a wealthy family. And Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, faced financial hardships and even slept on friends' sofas before building his empires. What do these people know that you don't? The answer is simple. They understand the rules of the money game, and this is exactly what I'm going to teach you. Most people follow an outdated formula to make money. They study to get a job and spend their lives trading hours of work for a paycheck. But this model has a significant flaw. Time is the most precious resource there is because, once spent, it cannot be recovered. And when you sell your time for money, you place a limit on your financial potential. Let's do a quick calculation. Imagine you earn $7.50 an hour and work 44 hours a week. To reach $1 million, without spending any of that amount, you would take approximately 63 years. And that's without considering taxes, inflation, and the rising cost of living over the decades. In other words, with this approach, it's practically impossible to achieve wealth before old age, when you may no longer have the energy to enjoy it. Now think again, how did some people manage to get rich so quickly? What's the difference between you and them? The answer lies in how they make money. They don't trade time for money, they create value. And this is precisely what you need to understand to change your destiny. Are you ready to learn how to build real wealth? Then let's continue. Now that you've built a profitable business with well-structured systems and processes, it's time to reap the rewards of your hard work. At this point, you have two main options: continue running your company or profit from selling it. This process is known as acquisition, when another person or company buys the solution you took years to develop. Great examples of this include Instagram, acquired by Facebook for $1 billion, and PayPal, sold to eBay for $1.5 billion, of which $165 million went directly into Elon Musk's pocket. Numerous similar transactions happen in the business world, rewarding entrepreneurs for the value they've created. If you choose to continue managing your business, there may be good reasons for that. Perhaps you love what you've built and want to keep expanding. Perhaps you believe you can add even more value before selling for an even higher price. Or maybe the company is so well structured that it operates autonomously without requiring much of your dedication. Whatever the motivation, the fact is that you succeeded. You solved a real market problem and were generously rewarded for it. But now what? Was it all just luck? For most people, it was never really about money. In the end, money is just a number on a screen or a piece of paper whose value depends on collective belief. What you were really seeking from the beginning was freedom. The true goal has always been to have the ability to do what you want, when you want, without worrying about phrases like, "Can I afford this? Have I used all my vacation days? How will I pay the rent this month? Can I pay off my debts?" Or worse, "How many dreams will I have to postpone because I simply can't afford them?" The most important lesson wasn't about money. It was about a resource that is infinitely more valuable and irreplaceable: time. Now think, is it worth sacrificing a large part of your life for a job you don't like? Does your existence boil down to waking up, working, going home, watching TV, sleeping, and repeating it all until retirement? How many hours of your life are you letting slip by while following this pattern? Perhaps you've resigned yourself to this reality. Maybe, for now, you have no other choice. And if that's the case, there's no problem. Perhaps this content has served only as entertainment or as a shift in perspective, but some people will see the other side. People who want control over their own destiny, who want to never worry about money again. And it's for them that I repeat: stop chasing money. Chase problems and create solutions. This is the formula behind all great wealth. Does this mean you will be happy at the end of the journey? Not necessarily. Does it mean you will feel fulfilled? Only you can answer that. But if what we're seeking here is freedom, then it might be worth a try. Of course, this video simplified many issues. Money, business, and entrepreneurship are topics too vast to be fully explored in a single piece of content. But above all, remember what was said at the beginning. Most people will never succeed for various reasons. The most important? A lack of courage to take risks. Yes, you need to take risks, but not irresponsibly. Take calculated risks. After all, anything worthwhile involves some kind of risk. Avoiding them means eliminating your chances of wealth before you even start. If you work as an employee and want to increase your income, ask yourself, what problems am I solving? This simple reflection can open doors to new monetization opportunities within your own career. If you can solve more problems and offer better solutions, you can also increase your compensation. I'll end this video with the same message I've repeated several times. Stop chasing money and start seeking solutions to problems. The final question is, are you ready to change your mindset and start your journey toward wealth? Congratulations for making it this far, and a huge thank you for watching. I wish you all the success in the world. Comment below, "I made it to the end," so I know you followed along. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel to keep learning the path to wealth. On the final screen, I've included 2 videos that complement this content. Don't miss them. And if you want part 3, comment, "I want part 3." A big hug, and I'll see you in the next video.